What is up, everyone? Calling all angels. We are here for the Wings of the Angels podcast for the week, and we are starting with the previews actually because my Monday, Tuesday was extremely busy, so I'm gonna get to the previews and get them up first, and then we will recap the matches from this go around. Yeah, yeah, we are getting some stuff ready here. We, as you know, Mother's Day this weekend, and had to do a lot of front loading here because if I'm living during the weekend, I had to do most of it during Sunday this past week. So that did, unfortunately, throw a wrench in the plan. However, should still be able to get some stuff up here. So let's go through them quick. Tonight we have a match between Utah Royals and Houston. So, quick rundown of the standings here. We have got Houston sitting in 7th place at 10 points. We have Utah now 5th at 13 points. A win for Utah would be their game in hand, so they technically would be positioned second in the league at the moment. Only 3 points behind Portland Thorns. So there is definitely something on the line there for Royals. That said, Dash need to keep themselves moving up. I will say this, both of these teams I think have pushed a little bit higher than they actually are, especially in the case of Utah right now because they've jumped into the top 5. I do think they are a legitimate playoff contender at this moment, especially if they can keep this pace up, but they have shown a bit of a lack of consistency. They have struggled in matches this year. Houston, I think, is pretty limited. They have very much been the result of right goal at the right time, and that's how they've racked up a couple of their wins. And so with Houston, I think this is about their upper limits, probably somewhere in the 7th place range. So in terms of this, Utah is still a little bit of a black box where I'm not sure if they have that ability to press higher or whether they need to be dropped back. So a lot of this match will be beneficial, at least in my ability to assess the teams. So way I see it, either we're going to find out Utah is a serious contender this year, or this match runs fairly close, a draw or even a Houston win, and we see Utah's still got too much of an inconsistency to really make noise at the top of the table, and it's more they're going to be fighting for spots at the bottom of the playoff picture. My guess is this one runs as a draw. Just right now, I like what I see with Utah Royals, but I've yet to see it strung together. This is a team at Utah Royals, if they're a contender, should beat. And I think they're going to fall a little short here. I do think this will be a 1-1 draw. Each team will split the points. But, again, this would be a good proving ground for Utah. So I'm pretty interested in seeing where this goes. All right. And, again, I always go local time for people who want to see the teams play. So this is at 7 p.m. Mountain time, I believe. So I will double check that right now just to be on the safe side. Actually, no, it is 7 Pacific, so that means that this is actually 8 Mountain Time. All right. There we go. And this is why it's good to pick it up, because that's a mistake that people would make, and this is something I want to kind of give them some aid on. Anyway, moving on to Friday, because I might as well just do all the during week games now. We have Louisville and Portland. Racing Louisville, obviously near the back of the standings. However, they are still extremely just competitive and fun to watch because of the offense. That said, I do not think they're going to be able to hold well against a Portland team that is now running at the top of the table. Still, that would be on a week's basis. This is a midweek, and Portland's played a lot of games here very quickly. So I do wonder if Louisville at home racks up some goals quickly, and Portland, who has not shown the ability to score big goal totals, is going to find themselves able to keep up. So, just looking, for example, I'm going into Portland's schedule right here, just looking at the amount of goals they've scored in any given match. Since the season has started, they have scored 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So there is a pretty clear amount of goals they are capable of. And with Louisville, I can absolutely see them getting into the 3 or 4. And even with the weaker defense, this could be something where Portland kind of gets taken by surprise. So I am going to pick an upset here. I'm going to say Louisville takes a 3-2 win. And it will be deeply surprising to everyone. But, that said, Portland absolutely is capable here, and they are at the top of the table for a reason. In a normal circumstance, I would be taking them. So, if they decide to play through, and they're able to maintain with good conditioning, then yeah, Portland will still manage to win this day. But I would also be mindful of how much is this taking a toll on Portland, because they've done a few midweek games at this point, and so at a certain stage, all these repeat matchups, just going multiple times in a week, does the minute by minute toll start to waver on them. Now the good side of this is, since they're front loading a lot of matches, they'll have a lot more chance to go at a normal pace towards the end of the season. So this actually might be good for Portland, all things considered. This might be a very favorable schedule to them. But I'm going to say they've reached their limit on their workload on Friday. All right, now we're on to Orlando and North Carolina. As you see, I'm giving a little more preview time since there's only 3 matches. Orlando, the Pride, has been making some moves here, trying to get themselves back up, but they remain a little too limited behind just 1 or 2 offensive members. Barbara Banda, currently the goal leader, 7 goals for the team so far, but relying on her too much is what's led to the defeats, and that's why they're sitting at 8 points at the current moment. Meanwhile, North Carolina, only one better at 9, have had issues just getting victories. They've been getting stuck in draws, unable to add really any points to their standing. And so, in the case of North Carolina, this is one of those matches where, again, you're on the road. You have to make something happen. This is rapidly becoming a time crunch. So, what I am going to say here is both teams really need the win. I don't think either team is going to get a win. Again, this is going to be one of those where I'm going to say it's a 2-2 draw. North Carolina will be able to find some goals, and they've got enough goal scorers to do it. Banda, I think, is a guarantee for 1, and she might get a second. She might open up an opportunity for a second. I'm just getting the sense that both teams right now lack finishing capability in terms of being able to finish off an opponent. North Carolina definitely has had that with all the draws, and Orlando is pretty much reliant on a very narrow view of their offense right now. They're both limited squads in terms of, just the X factors you would need to move higher. So I think they just end up in a catch-22 and are stuck in a 2-2 draw by the end here. In any case, that pretty much wraps up these 3. We'll have 6 other matches over the weekend. I will do that preview on Friday. Additionally, sometime later today, there will be the recaps of all 8 of our matches from the previous week. They should go up before the Utah game starts, unless if there is a slight delay, it'll be happening probably right after that Utah game, and I might throw in a recap of that match if that happens. So, some things to just keep an ear out for. In any case, this is our preview for the week, and I will see you all very soon when the rest of this comes in. Go Angels.